Situationships. Are you being used? Signs and how to get out. Are you in a situationship? Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we are diving into something that I know so many of you are struggling with in the dating world, the dreaded situationship. Situationships. Are you being used? Are you constantly wondering, what are we? Do you feel like you're spending a ton of time with someone, sharing intimate moments, maybe even feeling really emotionally connected, but there's no label, no commitment, and a whole lot of ambiguity? If that sounds familiar, you are likely knee-deep in a situationship. Situationship, a romantic relationship that lacks commitment and clear definition. What is a situationship? Definition and characteristics. So, what exactly is a situationship? In its simplest form, it's a romantic or quasi-romantic relationship that lacks commitment and clear definition. It's that gray area between casual dating and a real relationship. It's where you're doing a lot of relationshipy things, dates, deep conversations, maybe even physical intimacy, but without the title of boyfriend, girlfriend, or even partner. It's relationship without the relationship agreement. Situationships are born out of a few key ingredients in modern dating culture. First, there's a fear of commitment. For various reasons, people are hesitant to fully commit, whether it's fear of vulnerability, past hurts, or simply not feeling ready. Secondly, dating apps, while offering connection, can also contribute to a grass is always greener mentality. There's a constant feeling that there might be someone better just a swipe away, making commitment seem less appealing. And third, let's be honest, sometimes it's just easier to avoid uncomfortable conversations about defining the relationship. Ambiguity can feel safer in the short term, even if it's incredibly frustrating and painful in the long run. Signs you're in a situationship. Clear signs. You're in a situationship, see? So how do you know if you're actually in a situationship and not just, taking things slow? Here are some clear signs to watch out for, and be honest with yourself as we go through these. Inconsistent communication. Sign number 1, inconsistent communication. This is a big red flag. In a situationship, communication is often hot and cold. One day they're texting you constantly, making plans, being super attentive. The next day, radio silence. Or maybe communication is always surface level, avoiding deeper, more meaningful conversations about feelings or the future. Consistent. Reliable communication is a cornerstone of healthy relationships. Lack of it is a major sign of ambiguity. Avoiding labels and the talk. Sign number 2, avoiding labels and the talk. This is classic situationship territory. If you try to define the relationship or even hint at labels like boyfriend or girlfriend, they deflect, change the subject, or give vague answers like, let's just see where things go. They actively avoid having that defining conversation because, well, they don't want to define it. And if you've been dating for a while and still haven't had a conversation about what you are, that's a huge sign. No future planning. Sign number 3. No future planning. Do you make plans for next weekend? Maybe. Next month? Probably not. Situationships live in the present moment. There's a distinct lack of future-oriented conversation or plans involving you as a couple. Vacations, holidays, even just discussing events that are a few weeks out. These are usually absent in situationships because there's no intention of building a long-term future together. Meeting friends and family. Avoidance. Sign number 4. Meeting friends and family avoidance. Introducing someone to your inner circle is a step towards commitment. In a situationship, this is often avoided. They might not be eager to meet your friends, and you definitely haven't met theirs. Keeping the relationship compartmentalized and separate from other parts of their life is a way to maintain that lack of commitment. You feel insecure and anxious. And finally, sign number 5, and perhaps the most important, You feel insecure and anxious. Trust your gut. Situationships breed insecurity. You're constantly questioning where you stand, overthinking every text, and feeling anxious about the relationship's stability or lack thereof. If you consistently feel confused, uncertain, and emotionally on edge, it's a strong indicator you are in a situationship. Healthy relationships bring you more peace and security than anxiety. The emotional toll of situationships. Now, let's talk about the emotional toll. Situationships might seem harmless on the surface, but they can be incredibly damaging to your emotional well-being. Why? Because you're investing emotional energy, time, and often vulnerability into something that is fundamentally unstable and undefined. Emotional toll of situationships. First, they erode your self-esteem. Being in a situationship can make you feel like you're not good enough to be in a real relationship. You might start questioning your worth, thinking, why aren't I worthy of commitment? What's wrong with me? This constant uncertainty can chip away at your self-confidence. Increased anxiety and stress. Secondly, they fuel anxiety and stress. The constant ambiguity creates a breeding ground for anxiety. You're always wondering where you stand, if they're going to pull away, if they're seeing other people, which they probably are, by the way, in a situationship. This constant state of uncertainty is incredibly stressful and emotionally draining. Emotional investment without reciprocation. Thirdly, you're often giving more than you're receiving emotionally. In a situationship, one person often ends up more emotionally invested than the other. You might be craving commitment and clarity while the other person is comfortable with the ambiguity. This imbalance can lead to feelings of resentment, loneliness, and feeling used. Hindered genuine relationship opportunities. And finally, situationships can hinder your ability to find genuine, fulfilling relationships. You're emotionally occupied with this undefined connection, which can prevent you from being open to or pursuing relationships that actually offer commitment and security. You're essentially putting your dating life on hold for something that isn't going anywhere. How to get out of a situationship or change it. Okay, so you've recognized the signs. You're in a situationship and you're realizing it's not serving you. What do? Here's how to get out of a situationship, or at least try to change it. It's going to require courage and self-respect, but you absolutely deserve clarity and commitment if that's what you desire. How to get out of a situationship. Step 1. Self-reflection and honesty. Before you do anything, get really honest with yourself. Are you truly okay with the situationship as it is? Or are you secretly hoping it will magically turn into something more? If you're hoping for more and you're not okay with the ambiguity, you need to acknowledge that to yourself first. This isn't about changing them. It's about being honest with your own needs and desires. Define your needs and boundaries. Step 2. Define your needs and boundaries. What do you want in a relationship? Is commitment important to you? Clarity? Consistent communication? Figure out your non-negotiables. And then, set your boundaries. A boundary is simply communicating what you are and are not willing to accept in a relationship. For example, I need clear communication and consistent effort from someone I'm dating, or I'm not comfortable with undefined relationships anymore. Initiate the conversation. Step 3. Initiate the conversation. This is the scary part, but it's crucial. You need to have a direct, honest conversation with the person you're in a situationship with. Approach it calmly and clearly. You can say something like, "Hey, I value our time together, but I need to be honest about what I'm looking for in a relationship. I'm looking for something more defined and committed. I wanted to check in and see if we're on the same page." Step 4. Be prepared for any outcome. This conversation could go a few ways. They might surprise you and say, "Yes, I've been feeling the same way and I'm ready for more." Great, but be realistic. More likely, they might double down on the ambiguity, express hesitation about commitment, or even become defensive. You need to be prepared for them to not give you the answer you want. Be prepared to walk away. Self-respect is key. And step 5. The most empowering step. Be prepared to walk away. If they are not willing or able to give you the clarity and commitment you need to be prepared to walk away. This is not easy, especially if you have strong feelings for them. But staying in a situationship that doesn't meet your needs is ultimately disrespecting yourself. Walking away is an act of self-respect. It's saying, I value myself enough to not settle for ambiguity and uncertainty. Ending a situationship can be tough, but it opens up space for you to find a relationship that does bring you clarity, commitment, and genuine happiness. You deserve to be in a relationship where you feel secure, valued, and loved without question, marks hanging over your head. So, if you're watching this and realizing, wow, I think I might be in a situationship, I hope this video has given you some clarity and the courage to take action. Remember, you are worthy of a real, defined relationship if that's what you desire. Don't settle for ambiguity. Don't settle for being used. Prioritize your own emotional well-being and go after the kind of love you truly deserve. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever been in a situationship and what your experience was. What are your biggest frustrations with modern dating? And what other dating topics would you like me to cover in future videos? Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more honest and practical dating and relationship advice, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on future uploads. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.